Welcome back, and no, that hearing didn't go well for the SEC today. Let's just get right to it. We used to call those suicide mission hearings because you were being sent to your death, but it was actually much worse for the SEC than you may even imagine, as some major errors were made today by them.
What's happening and what mistakes did the SEC make in the lawsuit? All XRP Army members can rejoice today because it's finally time for Ripple to win this case. A lot of stuff has been going on around the XRP coin. The crypto sphere is now ready for the new crypto king, and it just so happens to be XRP. Imagine a world where XRP is the ruler of all crypto. Wouldn't that be a dream come true? Currently, we only have a few roadblocks, and that's about to end soon. Yes, I said it. Ripple and XRP are about to be free from all problems. But before we get to that, let's roll that intro. As always, welcome back to Money Side, your favorite crypto channel. If you are new here, hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell to get updates when we drop new videos. Don't forget to smash that like button and comment in the section below.
Are mine alone, not necessarily those of the commission, the commissioners, or the staff. But this event gives us a great opportunity to address a topic that I think has been a subject of considerable debate in the press and in the crypto community, and that's whether a digital asset, a token, a coin, offered as a security can over time become something other than a security. To start with, I'd like to frame that question a little differently and focus not on the digital asset itself and does the digital asset morph into something, but let's look at the circumstances surrounding the digital asset and the manner in which it's sold. To that end, I think a better line of inquiry might be, can a digital asset originally sold in a securities offering later be sold in a manner that doesn't constitute the offering of a security?
Did you notice how cautious Hinman was in this video? Aside from that, why is the SEC again using the same speech in their defense in court? It seems to me that the SEC will only agree to Hinman's speech when it favors them and deny it when it doesn't. That's the double standard that makes it hard to trust the regulatory body, and why they are in question at this very moment. The regulatory body is hell-bent on manipulating the truth as long as it suits their needs. Time and time again, the SEC has been using illegal means to manipulate the truth, and this is a clear indication of when the SEC crossed a line.
So you said in your speech that neither Bitcoin nor Ether would be considered securities and thus not under the purview of the SEC. Can you very briefly explain what your reasoning is?
Sure, Bob. These are complex facts and circumstances tests, but when we look at Bitcoin or if we look at Ether and the highly decentralized nature of the networks, we don't see a third-party promoter where applying the disclosure regime would make a lot of sense. So we're comfortable in some sort of viewing these as items that don't have to be regulated as securities.
Now, you also talked about initial coin offerings or ICOs, which are ways of raising money using cryptocurrencies. Did you use a similar reasoning? You implied that most seem to be securities, ICOs, but some of them are not. Can you just show us what the difference is simply?
I wish we had a simple way to say this is in and this is out. As I mentioned, they're usually facts and circumstances tests, but a key factor is there a third-party promoter here who knows much more about the instrument than investors might? If that's the case, that's sort of an initial indicator that we might have a securities transaction. If people are buying it for investment and for a return and looking to that party for a return, then again, that's an indicia of a security. If you have, on the other hand, a token that's just used in the network for a good or service, and that's why people are buying it, and that service is available and up and running, not under development, then you may not have a security.
Hinman happens to be at the center of the SEC's defense. Unfortunately, Hinman, on more than one occasion, has been quoted giving ETH a free pass, even when in reality ETH is the one that should be on trial.
The speech got a lot of attention because it was the first time we had expressed to the world that we didn't view Ether as a security as it was then currently being offered. We're not talking about the original offering, and we're not talking about what it may evolve to over time or if someone repackages it or does other things with Ether. But we're saying at the current time there wasn't really a need to regulate Ether as a security in our minds.
But since the crypto is quite massive, the SEC planned a tactic to avoid using ETH and BTC. In fact, if you think of it critically, they chose a winner in the crypto market, and that was undeniably ETH and BTC. At the same time, they went for crypto such as XRP for the wrong reasons. but they are fully convinced of their actions, which in reality is way off. We've seen the SEC go after the wrong companies to make a point, and that's precisely what is happening right now. However, soon enough, this is all going to end because the whole crypto world is watching this case keenly. This court case will undoubtedly give rise to the next steps in the crypto world, and ideally give the SEC the right to go after any crypto they choose, if they even win. But if they lose, I'm sure the SEC will go back to the drawing board and carefully calculate their moves. Otherwise, if the regulatory body emerges victorious in this case, it will be an Armageddon for the crypto world. Further from that, there has been some exciting updates in the Ripple vs. SEC lawsuit. In the most recent court hearing, the SEC's lawyer almost started with the argument that William Hinman needed advice for digital assets from his attorneys. That being said, Judge Sarah Netburn took this opportunity to remind the SEC that the speech by the former director of corporation finance was his personal view and not the view of the SEC. Thereafter, Judge Sarah Netburn questioned the SEC if they stand by the same statement today. In response, the SEC's attorney replied, saying that although it had already been ruled his personal opinion, it doesn't change the fact that he sought legal counsel. This made things pretty confusing for the judge, as she didn't quite get the sole purpose of the advice. Following these events, Judge Netburn seems to claim that the SEC's arguments are illogical. She points out some tension in the SEC's position and reasoning. Well, following these events, we can smell some trouble for the SEC. Things further get even more confusing when the judge tries to clarify if the SEC's attorney claimed that William Hinman was speaking on behalf of the SEC's Division of Corporation Finance. Then how was it possible to have given the speech before legal advice? Judge Sarah Netburn tells the SEC that the law is not that controversial. Further, she goes ahead and sarcastically asks the SEC to pull up that William Hinman speech and show which part represents the SEC and which part is William Hinman's personal opinion. Judge Sarah Netburn further asks if the SEC now concedes that the speech reflects the views of the Division of Corporation Finance. At this point, she repeats the question twice, and the SEC both times responds, saying yes. This is such a fascinating development in this lawsuit, guys. Up to now, the SEC's argument seems to be getting weaker and weaker. They seem to just be going around in circles. Things got even more interesting when the Ripple lawyers took the floor. Attorney Matthew Solomon, who's now working for Ripple, commented that the court is struggling to get an answer on something that we've all been struggling to get an answer on for months. Attorney Solomon concurs with the judge's earlier comment that the agency is constantly changing its views on him and his speech to suit their interests. He even walks the court through the long-standing battle that has been there for months on end about the Hinman speech. According to the Ripple lawyer, during the famous Hinman 2018 speech, he was giving his opinions on how rules may or may not be applied to the digital assets, and there was no need for legal advice to be provided. Attorney Matthew Solomon objects the very legal comment by the SEC's counsel. He says, "It's not a deliberative process, which the court has already determined, and the way to analyze this is how the judge asks the first question. What was the purpose of this alleged advice? This speech itself even said it was not a full legal analysis." Judge Netburn even further says that if the purpose of the advice was not to conduct agency business, then there's a break in the chain. Judge Netburn got that spot on. Even Attorney Solomon responded that the communications appeared to scream that it was more policy-related than legal advice. As always, trade safely, guys. Please keep in mind, we are not a licensed financial advisor. All videos on this channel are intended for entertainment purposes only. Tell us what you think in the comments section below, and let's have a conversation. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like this video and to click on the subscribe button below. Turn on notifications to get informed whenever we post our amazing content. We'll see you in the next video.